Hello and welcome to the Golden Rule Magician Learning Series. I'm your host, Steffan Soule, and I've been performing an assembly called Attention, Magic, and the Golden Rule now for over 7 years. And this assembly is now streamed to schools who want to look at it. And we're getting ready for when we go back into the schools live. So we're teaching the assembly on video. There's a series called Golden Rule Magician Series, and you can subscribe to that and learn all of the magic in the assembly and get it ready to present live for schools all over the United States. This is happening now. People are learning the assembly now. And in October, we usually present it live, but this year we're going to stream it. So I'm inviting all performers who present anything on the Golden Rule or on attention. This could be magic, it could be juggling, it could be any art that describes the Golden Rule or helps folks learn about attention. And this is for ages elementary to high school, so it can be a range of difficulties and a real variety of lessons. So this will be streamed in October. October is Anti-Bullying Month, and the publisher of the series, Golden Rule Magician Series, is interviewing folks who want to be part of the stream, the live stream, which will become a video that people can watch and refer back to. It'll be a helpful thing for the series to make this video because it'll just augment what we're doing. We're learning all of the magic in the assembly, from the Tesla coil effects that are dangerous with electricity to the effects where the water changes color, which is science, to simple effects with scripts and props that connect the Golden Rule and the ideas of you and others, which magic displays. So it's an amazing experiment in transmitting the Golden Rule, a universal idea that everyone agrees on. And since October is Anti-Bullying Month, and since by learning magic people learn a lot of things, from science to science fiction, from physics to poetry, and all sorts of arts and crafts. And you need to study mime, for example, which is movement with almost no words, or the kind of movement that dangerous sports requires, that kind of training. Magic is training at its essence. So we invite you to become part of this fun training. It's a lot of fun to be part of the Golden Rule Magician Series. You get to learn magic, experiment with effects, and that helps just you all by yourself. In other words, it's fun just to do it as an activity. It's magic by itself to engage in the process of learning magic. You can see from these slides that we have a lot of fun when this presentation tours live, but there's ways to present magic online. There's ways to present magic in small groups. There's ways to do this in the classroom and to do this for all ages in small bits and large amounts. There are teachers who can use this series for their students to learn magic all year long, and at the end of the year put a show on for the class or for the school. And then there's also ways for professional performers to use this to bring a very professional assembly that's got the right stuff in it for funding, because this has been funded for 7 years by many groups that study what we do and realize that it works. So that's really a good pattern to learn about and participate with. We encourage all magicians and entertainers who bring their works to assemblies to study this. It doesn't take long for a professional to get everything out of this series, probably a month or two. And then some people, of course, subscribe for longer to perfect all of the many bits and pieces within this very large series. There's over 50 effects and over 60 minutes of magic in this series that's been audience tested to transmit the Golden Rule in a positive way that works. And then there's lesson plans, and then there's activities, magical experiences that go with it. So welcome to the Golden Rule Magician Learning Series. It's great that you're here. We offer quite a bit of magic here. This learning channel has so many effects that you can learn here, but in October you'll get to see it streamed as a presentation, start to finish, with many presenters right here. And we'll put the link in the description below, of course. It's a live streaming event. It'll happen in October. And as we have said, the publisher of this series is interviewing performers and presenters now to assemble the production team for the October show. And October is anti-bullying month. So that's a great time for a Golden Rule assembly, a stage show, or a classroom event. It's a great way for students of all ages and at all kinds of schools, indoor and outdoor, young and old, to digest this material, to enter into it, to ponder it. It is like a meal in a way. The meat is the fun experience that we get, and it's done as a group usually, which is nice. And then we have the relatable idea of the Golden Rule. It's a universal rule that everyone can relate to, and that's what people are finding quite useful these days. At this channel, you can study all of the magic, and I'm here to make sure that you can learn every effect in the assembly and present it the way you want to in your assembly, in your presentation. So there'll be a live streaming event in October. I'm Steffan Soule. I'm your host for that and for the streaming event in October. It's called Attention, Magic, and the Golden Rule. And because every magic effect is described in detail on video, from multiple views, you can see it from behind, from the magician's perspective, from the audience's perspective. You can actually quickly learn some of the complicated effects. Even the difficult ones you can learn pretty quickly with this series. It's well thought out. There are a lot of props. There's props in every magic effect, in every magic show. Your job is to get those props as best you can and put them together, and we're going to show you how we use our props right here in this special lab. The videos that we make here are really good because you see it from both perspectives, the magician's perspective and the audience's perspective. You'll see both perspectives. And each effect is presented with a visual representation of the Golden Rule, of how to live by the Golden Rule and how to choose it in everyday life. Speaking of that, I love magic. And therefore, I want you to be able to get all of the magic that you need so that you can demonstrate it to others. Especially because of that. Because every time people work with this magic, it helps them establish connections with new ideas, new ways of presenting things, new ways of thinking. And it works just on yourself to have fun putting this together. It's educational. It helps people learn everything from like poetry to physics, and it's a continuous education. It adds a discipline to whatever you're already doing. Just by practicing the art of stage magic or close-up magic, students learn everything. They learn biology to ballet. They learn math to music. It's really, there's a lot involved in magic. You can't pin it down to one thing. There's science, psychology, and many arts and crafts. You have to learn like dangerous movement, like what people do in risky sports, or even in simple movement like mime. There's a lot of disciplines in the art of magic. And that's in order for it to be most effective. Magic is more effective when the magician has many skills. And they're fun to play with. Even when we've learned all of the lessons and mastered them, in the end there's a new audience every time we present. And that's why I do this, is because the audience is new every time, and so it's experienced as new. I experience each show as new. Each performance is new. So, thanks for coming to the Golden Rule Magician channel. We're really glad you're here, and we'll see you in the next video, and we'll see you in October at Attention, Magic, and the Golden Rule, which is going to be streamed live in October. Thanks so much. See you then.
This is the Golden Rule Magician series with professional magician, Steffan Soule. Please check our video playlist for the next or for related videos in this series and follow us at goldenrulemagician.com.